What if I told you that NASA may have just discovered we're not alone in the universe? And the evidence isn't coming from some distant galaxy, it's right here in our cosmic backyard, on the red planet Mars. For decades, we've stared at Mars wondering if life could exist there. But recent discoveries have turned that question on its head. We're no longer asking if life could exist on Mars, we're asking if it already does. Picture this. NASA's rovers are detecting mysterious gas bursts that spike and disappear like biological signatures. They're finding organic molecules, the building blocks of life, scattered across the Martian surface. And most intriguingly, they're discovering patterns that look suspiciously like the fingerprints of living organisms. This isn't science fiction anymore, this is science fact, and it's happening right now. Let me take you on a journey through the greatest detective story in human history, the hunt for life on Mars. We'll explore the evidence, meet the microscopic suspects, and discover what this could mean for humanity's future among the stars. Our story begins in the 1960s when humans first set their sights on Mars. The early missions were simple flybys, taking blurry photos of a seemingly dead, crater-covered world. But as our technology improved, so did our understanding. The Viking missions of the 1970s were the first to land on Mars and conduct experiments specifically designed to detect life. The results were inconclusive. Some tests suggested biological activity, others didn't. Mars kept its secrets locked away. Then came the game changers, the Mars rovers. Spirit and Opportunity arrived in 2004, followed by the nuclear-powered Curiosity in 2012, and most recently, Perseverance in 2021. Each rover was more sophisticated than the last, equipped with laboratories that could analyze Martian soil and atmosphere with incredible precision. These weren't just remote-controlled cars, they were mobile detective agencies, methodically collecting evidence across the Martian landscape. But here's where our story takes a fascinating turn. As these rovers explored Mars, they began detecting something unexpected. Methane gas appearing and disappearing in the Martian atmosphere like ghostly signatures. Now here's why methane is such a big deal. On Earth, over 90% of atmospheric methane comes from living organisms, bacteria in swamps, digestive processes in animals, decomposing organic matter. Methane doesn't last long in Mars's atmosphere, it should break down within a few hundred years. So if we're detecting methane on Mars today, something must be actively producing it. Curiosity rover has detected these methane spikes multiple times, sometimes measuring levels 10 times higher than background readings. The gas appears seasonally, suggesting it might be linked to biological cycles. Even more intriguingly, the methane seems to appear at night and disappear during the day, almost as if something is breathing it out in the darkness and then it gets destroyed by sunlight. But methane is just the beginning of our evidence. The real breakthrough came when NASA's rovers started finding organic molecules, the carbon-based compounds that form the foundation of all life as we know it. Curiosity's drill samples have revealed a treasure trove of organic compounds preserved in ancient Martian rocks. What's even more remarkable is where these molecules are being found. They're not randomly scattered. They appear in specific geological formations that were once ancient lakebeds and river deltas. Places where, billions of years ago, liquid water flowed and pooled, creating the perfect conditions for life to emerge and thrive. Perseverance rover has taken this discovery even further, finding organic molecules in multiple rock samples from Jezero Crater, an ancient river delta. The diversity and complexity of these compounds suggests they weren't formed by simple geological processes. They look like the chemical signatures of biological activity. But perhaps the most compelling evidence comes from patterns in the data that suggest something is actively influencing Mars's chemistry right now. Scientists have discovered that oxygen levels in Mars's atmosphere fluctuate in ways that can't be explained by known geological or atmospheric processes. Even more intriguingly, researchers have found that these oxygen fluctuations correlate with the methane detections. When methane spikes, oxygen levels change. When methane disappears, oxygen patterns shift. This suggests these two gases might be linked by biological processes, perhaps microorganisms that produce methane while consuming or producing oxygen. The isotopic signatures of these gases also tell a story. The ratios of different carbon and oxygen isotopes in Martian methane and oxygen don't match what we'd expect from purely geological sources. They look more like the isotopic fingerprints left by living organisms. So if life exists on Mars, what would it look like? Forget little green men, we're talking about microscopic organisms that could survive in one of the most extreme environments in our solar system. These Martian microbes would likely be extremophiles, organisms that thrive in conditions that would kill most Earth life. They might live deep underground, protected from Mars' harsh surface radiation, feeding on chemical energy from rocks and minerals. Think of them as the ultimate survivors, organisms that have adapted to a world with no oxygen, extreme cold, and deadly radiation. On Earth, we've found extremophiles living in boiling hot springs, frozen Antarctic valleys, deep ocean trenches, and even inside nuclear reactors. Life, it seems, finds a way to survive almost anywhere there's liquid water and a source of energy. Mars has both underground aquifers and chemical energy from its rocky interior. These Martian microbes might look like tiny bacteria or archaea, perhaps forming colorful mats in underground caves or existing as single cells in subsurface water. They might metabolize sulfur compounds, produce methane as waste, and create the very signatures our rovers are detecting. Some scientists even speculate that Martian life might be related to Earth life, that microorganisms could have traveled between planets on meteorites billions of years ago, seeding both worlds with the same fundamental biology. The next chapter in this cosmic detective story is already being written. NASA's Mars Sample Return mission, planned for the 2030s, will bring actual Martian rocks back to Earth for detailed analysis in our most advanced laboratories. Imagine holding a piece of Mars in your hands, knowing it might contain the first confirmed evidence of alien life. The European Space Agency's ExoMars mission will drill deeper into the Martian surface than ever before, searching for signs of life in subsurface environments where organisms would be protected from radiation. China's Tianwen missions are adding their own capabilities to this international effort to unlock Mars's secrets. Future missions might even include specialized life detection laboratories, designed specifically to identify and study Martian microorganisms in their natural habitat. We're not just looking for signs of ancient life anymore. We're actively hunting for living, breathing Martian organisms. And here we stand, at the threshold of perhaps the most profound discovery in human history. The evidence is mounting, the technology is advancing, and the answer to humanity's oldest question, are we alone, might be just around the corner. If we confirm life on Mars, it changes everything. It means life isn't unique to Earth, that it can emerge and survive in multiple environments within just our own solar system. If life exists on Mars, it probably exists throughout the universe on countless worlds orbiting distant stars. We might not be alone after all. In fact, we might be part of a universe teeming with life from the microscopic to the magnificent. And it all started with a few mysterious gas readings from a robot rolling across the red plains of Mars. The greatest detective story ever told is still being written, and we're all witnesses to its unfolding. Mars is keeping its final secrets for now, but not for much longer. The truth is out there, and we're closer than ever to finding it. Thank you for watching SciBeyond. If you liked this video, hit like and subscribe, and share your thoughts below. Do you think Mars was ever alive? I'll see you in the next video.